Hello out there and welcome back. It's been a little while. We waited for the snow to clear, which took a couple of days, and for the water to drain, which was a messy situation that has taken us a little while. At any rate, it did get dry enough for our construction crew to come out. Last time we were here, we had the slab was pouring and there was nothing else that was done. But in the meantime, we have our patio door put in so we can get from the back of our house out here conveniently. And a pergola was built so that it has more than just a slab of concrete look to it. And behind me is going to go a jacuzzi, which should be arriving later this week. So we have a lot of things ongoing in our project here. And this brings me to thinking about, let's say, 5 things that you should think about right before you retire or right after you retire. First of all, I think that it's important to find a place outside to be. One of the things that can one of the bad habits that you can develop is finding a nice chair in the house and sitting down and saying to yourself, I don't have to do anything. Well, the fact of the matter is that even when you don't have to do something, you really need to move around. And I think that having a good outside place where you can be, if you're just going to sit on your porch or deck or patio and watch the world go by, that's at least something. You're out in the fresh air, you're out in the sunlight when it's not raining, and you can find things that you can notice that you need to do just looking around. Well, we need to redo this flower bed over here. We need to redo the walkway that we have here. We have a stepping stone walkway that needs to be more lined up with this new slab that we have here. I have plans for another structure in the back of the yard, and all of these things, this is a good place to stop and think about it on. The second thing to think about is a circle of friends. Now, a lot of us have had most of our friends as the people we work with. And the fact of the matter is that once you stop working, while you're still friends with these people, you don't have as much in common with them anymore. And especially if it was a hierarchical relationship where you were the boss and they were working for you, and then you leave, you're no longer the boss, you come back and it's a different relationship than you're accustomed to, and it can be uncomfortable, at least at first. Nevertheless, it doesn't hurt to keep that going. But what I'm speaking of here is to make sure that you have involved yourself into other things where you see people other than those that you work with. Now, sometimes your job will allow you contacts with people that do different things that will get you involved in volunteer organizations or clubs or church groups even, that will allow you to see people on a regular basis and interact with them. Preferably people who don't see things exactly the way that you do. It's refreshing in a way, it's challenging in another, and you need both of those things to keep your mind active. It is a matter of we are a social species. When it comes down to it, if we could survive by ourselves, we never would have developed into villages and then cities and then city-states and countries as we do. We depend on each other in order to proceed with our lives, and that starts with just neighbors and friends. So in my case, I'm involved with the Boy Scouts. That's my main thing, and while it's only an hour meeting a week, there's usually another executive committee meeting that happens, and things at the district council that need help with. And so you find yourself, as you become more available, to be able to do more of these things. And it's a good thing to do. It gets you out of the house. It gets you around people that you have something in common with, just not in a working relationship. The third thing I would say is to keep your mind busy by making sure that you maintain your sharpness. Read, and not just any reading, not just news reading, but learn something. Run Wikipedia articles at least, or try and learn something that you've always been interested in but never looked into. I know people who have gotten into amateur radio. This is an expensive hobby, but it does allow you to learn the technology and the legal aspects of it, and then you can make some virtual friends over the air. There are other things that will do that as well. I like to work word puzzles and crossword puzzles and various types of letter puzzles. I was never a real good Scrabble player, but I find that challenging myself with these things keeps me literate, although you wouldn't know it from these videos. Number 4 is to have a hobby. And I have a hobby right here. This is what I do. I've been 7 years doing my other YouTube channel. I'm in the first year of this one, but in doing these channels, it also gives me something that I need to organize my thoughts and to present and to edit and to post. And so I think that having something that is not terribly challenging, but certainly something that you have to concentrate on, is something that can keep you from getting bored and just, once again, sitting around. So I recommend some kind of hobby, and whether it's YouTube or podcasting or just collecting stamps, it's something that can occupy your time without being a complete waste of time. So there is that. I would recommend that as well. And finally, the 5th thing is to try not to worry. One of the things that I find that is the worst part of retirement is worrying. Am I going to be okay without a regular job to go to? Am I going to be okay with the money that I have saved and the ability to enjoy it? Am I going to lose my friends? Am I going to find that I don't have an identity other than the one that I had at work? These are worries, and you really need to put them aside because they're just little things inside of your head that try to knock you down. Same way you had at work when you were feeling like you were an imposter or that you weren't going to be able to pull it off this time. It always worked out, didn't it? So this is something that you need to set yourself mentally, that you're going to be okay, that everything's going to be okay. And even if it isn't, it's better to have a positive attitude than to have a negative one. So that's my thought on 5 things that you should consider before or right after retiring. So, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then, don't go far.